Hello YouTube, this is Bash bringing you here for playoffs. We are in semifinals here in PSL, Season 8 Summer Division, top division kind of thing. And we are up against Zooch, who we played in the regular season. I believe it was week 8, I want to say. Um, week 9, my bad, yeah, week 9. Um, so Zooch has a team of Torn T, Porygon 2, Blaine, Slow King, Zarude, Suicune, Cresselia, Oricorio, Excadrill, Gigalith, and Mega Altaria, with the Z captains being all Z captain being Torn T and attacking being Excadrill. And my team consists of right there. Zeraora, Lando T, Milotic, Gladius, Mamoswine, Venusaur, Klefki, Torkoal, Mega Houndoom, and Kecleon, with it all Z captain being Zeraora and attacking Z captain being Lando T. Some things to note. The last time we played, well, I didn't really show any of the sets really too much. One thing I will note though is I did not prep for Cresselia last time. I didn't realize it was on his team, and Oricorio, to be honest too. So I gotta keep that in mind for this match. I feel all right about some of the team. Like I feel all right, but like his team has the matchup advantage against me personally. Um, Having Sand against my team is very difficult for me to deal with, combined with the fact that like his defensive walls are very annoying to get through, like Cresselia, P2, and G Soaking. Technically Mega Altaria too. If he brings that defense, that's going to be really difficult to break through as well. But yeah, I struggle a little bit with that. Suicune, yeah, like the one thing I will say is Cresselia does get weakened by the sand because of the fact that Moonlight does not work well in the sand. It only restores 25%. But still, this team is very going to be very difficult to try to break through. But also, it has the offensive pressure to really scare me out. And because of that, I wanted to go with more of a similar build of what I sort of brought last time. But I wanted to make some changes. Um, you guys didn't see what I brought last time, but I'll kind of show you what we're bringing this time. Um, very, I think it's going to be a very difficult game, though. I will say, but I think we can win it if we play it correctly, because I do think we have the sets that could possibly win. Um, but yeah, let's go into the team. First off, we'll be with Torkoal, Rapid Spin, Flamethrower, Body Press, Yawn. Last time I had Gyro Ball on this, um, because of and Lava Plume instead of Flamethrower, and that was because of Mega Altaria. But I feel like Yawn was better because I feel like G Slowking will probably try to switch into this more. I already revealed Body Press last time against for the Gigalith switch in, and that does a butt ton to Gigalith, so I want to keep that in mind. But yeah, really hoping this could work out. It's very good at checking Zarude as well. Was another model I wanted to check with this. Was like the combination of Zarude and like Altaria is the plan, like physical make Altaria with this. So that's kind of the idea here. And Rapid Spin just to get rid of rocks or any shenanigans with that, I guess. So yeah. Next we have Mamoswine, Earthquake, Icicle, Crash, Ice Shard, and Knockoff. I switched off Stuff Rocks for Knockoff this time. Because of the fact Cresselia, I didn't realize Cresselia was on the team last time. So, and Knockoff's really good for P2 as well. And also Suicune will take off any leftovers, shenanigans, stuff like that. But yeah, this thing is really good this match. I'm hoping it can come in clutch. It really is only switch into it, really, I guess, is like maybe P2 Suicune. Like Cresselia would be the big one. Cresselia is the big switch in. But Knockoff does about 50% of physically defensive Cresselia, so if I can get like some chip on it, it can be really clutch. Icicle Crash is there. I decided to go with Icicle Crash because I know like should be asking for hacks, but it's my best way of doing like trying to break down Cresselia. To be honest, it's gonna be very difficult. I'm gonna say like Cresselia is like one of the biggest problems. If Sand isn't up, Cresselia is a huge problem. That's basically what I'm saying. Yeah. Next we got Milotic. Recover Scald Haste for the turn. I went very physically defensive to help with Excadrill last time. Because Excadrill, I had to make a bunch of doubles to try to lower down Excadrill's attack in order for Milotic to do well in this match. So I felt like putting it more physically defensive made it a lot easier for me. Because last time I had it a little bit split F a little bit as well to help with Torn T. But yeah, this thing is also there. It can also help out against the Mega Altaria. If I can haze down the Dragon Dances and stuff. And you can't really do too much back unless he's Facade, I guess, with like a burn. which is something I wanted to keep in mind too, which is why I kind of wanted to run Yon instead of Flamethrower on this, because he could actually like still beat me if he's like what like Dragon Dance, Facade, Earthquake, Roost, like or something like that. Like he can still beat me with this set if I don't have Yon kind of thing. But yeah, so that's something to keep in mind. I want a momentum also, which is why I have Flip Turn, because I expect the Suicune or Zarude to come in on this most likely. So that's kind of why I wanted it. Here's one of our win cons here. Land OT, Earthquake, Fly, Swords Dance, Rock Polish, Flying EMZ. We've been seeing it all season long, and it's still very good, this match, to be honest. Like, it could have, last time it could have swept. It could have swept if Excadrill wasn't, if I didn't miscount the turns of Magnet Rise, Land OT would have just swept last game. So I want to keep that in mind. Z-Fly at +2 is really good for Cresselia, is what I also want to try to break through. Another like one of the things I want to try to break through at least this match. So yeah, next is Zeraora here, weakness policy. So we were actually weakness policy last time. I was debating between this match between Shuka or weakness policy. At +2, I could take a Life Orb or Bandit. I think Excadrill Earthquake. So I wanted to keep that in mind. If he's not that, I could possibly take one at +1. I think a bulk at +1 if he's not a boosting item, which he wasn't last time I think, and get that weakness policy off. I was debating about Play Rough. Play Rough is really only there. It's really there for Mega Altaria. I could have tried to switch it around. Taunt could have been the other thing I was considering was Taunt probably. But I think I'm just gonna go with this. Play Rough is only for the. I think I needed some way to also hit Mega Altaria, but if I was debating between Taunt and Play Rough basically for this move, like just because his team's gonna be really bulky, so he has a really bulky side, I guess, to it, like Cresselia P2. So he could not really a worrisome, but Taunt could also stop if Taunt could also stop Mega Altaria as well, which is cool. Kind of situation. So yeah, I was considering Taunt, but I ended up sticking with Playoff again because Mega Altaria is a threat. Last but not least is this Lugias set, which is completely different from like last time. Most of the sets are similar to last time, but this except for like a few changes. Like I said, like this is just like switch the moves, one move. This switch like a move, switch like the EVs around. Similar set, similar set as well. But this thing is very different. The reason I had my looks sort of like mixed is because of Torn T last time, and this thing, and I decided to try to bring this instead. I thought Clucky didn't have a good matchup, which is tough because I would have loved to bring Clucky to be honest, but it can't do anything against Excadrill to be honest, other than foul play is the only thing it can do. So, and I just felt like it didn't do enough for me. But if I could have, if I had enough, if I felt confident enough against Excadrill, I would consider bringing it, but I didn't feel confident enough, to be honest. And the fact that Suicune's there too, we could just calm mine up on it. It's gonna be, yeah, I didn't really think it was the best, but yeah. So we got Recover, Psyshock, Toxic, Calm Mind. Very interesting set. So this is kind of the way I'm choosing to deal with his bulk. Last time he brought a sub Suicune with like Toxic, Ice Beam, Calm Mind, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and this thing is able to do a lot to his team. The one thing that can really deal with it is like kind of Zarude, which is why I have Toxic for it, right? So Calm Mind, Side Shock. If Zarude goes down, like this thing could just win against his team. Toxic is trying to get Toxic down on Cresselia and Suicune and P2 kind of situation, and Zarude. Those are like the main things I want to get Toxic. And then like Calm Mind, Side Shock allows me to get through, try to break through Gigalith because Gigalith is probably going to be Spidef. And it allows me to break through Slow King as well, as long as he's not like he doesn't get like a toxic or a poison kind of thing. So I want to keep that in mind. But yeah, this matchup is really tough for me, and the fact that we won last time very convincingly, I just feel a little bit unsure about this matchup because I feel like he's gonna pop something off that's something I don't expect. And as I said before, Excadrill is terrifying. I'm expecting Excadrill to be his user this match. To be honest, I fully expect it. I expect like a Swords Dance, Groundy, and Z, Iron Head, Swords Dance, like a Swords Dance, Rapid Spin, Iron Head, Z Ground to hit, what's it called? Milo like as hard as possible. So, yeah. I want to keep that in mind. So let's get into the match here. So he ends up bringing a very interesting team. He brought Torn Cheese, Zarud, Porygon 2, G Slow King, Cresselia, and Gigalith, and that means no drill. So that was huge, but it looks like he brought like a pretty tanky team if you look at it. Like his like last 4 mods are all like tanks, to be honest, absolute tanks. He didn't really bring a lot of offensive pressure. So looking at this matchup, I really wish I brought Taunt on Zero instead of Play Rough because I think it could have been better on this. And yeah, weakness policy doesn't look that good. The only thing I get a weakness policy off on is Gigalith, so I gotta keep that in mind for this match. Lugias looks pretty good, to be honest. This match, like, really good. Like if I could get a Toxic on Zarud and weaken that down, I think Lugias can really win this game if it doesn't get Toxic itself. Mammoth looks incredible as well. I just need to make sure I try to break down Cresselia on P2 a little bit with it. Gotta keep that in mind. And then Milotic doesn't seem that useful this match, right? I brought Fizz Def Milotic to help with Excadrill, and it doesn't do any it's not doing anything really against Zarud. It's really there to switch in, I guess, against Gigalith, or maybe try to like stall a little bit against like Cresselia and P2, maybe. I don't know. But Milotic is not really good bring. Like the set didn't really work out for this match, I don't think. By the looks of it, not for team matchup. And Torkoal looks good. I'm kind of glad I brought Yawn, to be honest, to help against G Slow King switching in, possibly. So, yeah, let's go into this match. As I said, I kind of wish I brought some. I brought Taunt on Zero on this. But yeah, it's looking a really bulky team that he brought this time. So, I'm gonna lead off with Latios to try to get. I want to try to see if baited. I was expecting Torn T to lead, to be honest, or I was expecting Torn T to lead, kind of thing. So I wanted to lead with this. This is my answer to Torn T as well, by the way. I want to keep that in mind. And I wanted to try to get a Toxic off on the Zarud. So I believe I Psyshock here. Yeah, I Psyshock, do some damage, 25%, not too bad. Shows that he's a kind of really defensive kind of situation. If I remember correctly. He shows to be like max HP kind of situation. He could be like adamant, but I'm gonna go for a Toxic and I miss. Kind of sucks. He goes for a Rock Blast, gets some tip damage. He gets a crit there, which kind of sucks. Brings me down pretty low, which is kind of unfortunate because I wanted to keep this around. But what I probably should have done was going to my Lilic right there. Probably shouldn't have risked the Toxic. I thought he was gonna set up rocks right there, so I'm just gonna recover here. And he gets 2 Rock Blast there, which is kind of nice at least, which is has me at a higher HP. I'm just going to switch it to my Lilic. I want to keep this around. I realize I'm not winning this match right here. And I go to my Lilic as, luckily I do. He explodes. He explodes, so no more sand. And weakness policy is basically useless on Zeraora, so that's not good for us. I think then my Lilic becomes kind of like not as helpful because like if you look at his team, like it's really there to just like I guess like the only thing it can really do now is like stall things out, I guess a little bit. But even then, like it's not even the best. But at least I get the Flame Orb off. But I'm very low at this point, so I'm gonna go out to Torkoal, I believe. I could have recovered there, but I'm just gonna go with Torkoal. He goes for a U-turn, and I'm thinking, okay, this thing is probably Scarf, to be honest. Based off the fact that he U-turned, I'm guessing it's Scarf. He didn't show banded damage. I kind of expected that, or I was expecting maybe like a max HP, max attack kind of situation with like U-turn kind of thing, like shenanigans. But he wasn't a G-Slow King. I believe I go out to Latios to try to get some pressure off on this, and he has a Sludge Bomb. It's the poison. Oh, by the way, I mentioned before Toxic didn't really matter because he exploded anyway on the Gigalith. But he hits the poison, and I could recover off here, which is really good. I could get able to recover off. I should be able to deal with this out. But he gets the crit, and Latios is dead. So that is back-to-back playoff games of Lugias getting crit and basically putting in a situation where it, like, basically dies. This kind of really sucked for this situation because of the fact that I could have actually like 1v1 G King if he didn't crit. Um, but he did, unfortunately, and that's gonna put me in a position where I'm gonna have to like I don't know what I'm gonna do sort of situation. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. Latios losing the crit on Latios sucks with the poison as well because if he didn't get one or the other, I could have won. I could have like still recovered off. But he got both of those other two turns right. Um, those two turns, he got the sludge bomb, poison into the ice beam crit. If he didn't get one of those, I would have been fine with Latios. But yeah, so now I go for a knockoff. Turns out he actually lived and he shook a berry. So either way, like Mamoswine wasn't killing unless I got a crit. Basically, he put in enough investment into G Soaking to live a Life Orb knockoff, and Shook allowed him to live an Earthquake, and I was just Mamoswine. So we're in a very bad position. And we really don't have much to break. I'm gonna go Zero here. Try to put some pressure on. He goes into Cresselia. As I Drain Punch, trying to get expecting Zuru to possibly come out. Um, he goes into Cresselia though. He shows to be max defensive. I'm gonna go into Milotic here. He's gonna go Psychic, and I can't live two. It sucks. I probably what I should have done was go out to Torkoal maybe, pivoted around or something like that. But because my look was kind of still maybe useful, it could have possibly tried to stall out Cresselia and G Slow King and P2 maybe. But yeah, I'm gonna go to Lando T. It's the only thing I can do right now to put some offensive pressure on. And I'm going to Swords Dance, but he shows to be Porygon 2 as a switch in, which is pretty good prep with the Trace Intimidate, putting me at a +1 instead of +2. So I'm going to have to switch out to Torkoal. I'm expecting the Ice Beam to come out. And we are not looking so good. I'm going to go for Yan here. So he goes into Torn T, and at this point, I'm sort of looking at this position and like I'm realizing I cannot break his team really. If you look at it, right, like Zero, the combination of Cresselia P2, I cannot break through really with Lando T Zero. It looks like, so it's going to be very difficult, especially since Cresselia like can just psychic and kind of stuff. I guess the shenanigans, and this thing has Ice Beam, so like Lando T's not surviving that. So it's going to be a very difficult situation. He's going for Hurricane. I'm going to Flamethrower, bring this down, get a burn, which is kind of nice, but like he landed a Hurricane at 50%, but like that's not going to really matter too much. He actually misses the Heat Wave anyway here, so I guess that makes up for it. I get a kill with Torkoal, but like, I mean, either way, like it's not in a good position. And he's gonna G King, gets a Sludge Bomb off, and I'm gonna go into Lando T. He's shown the Ice Beam already, so like I think I Earthquake here. I didn't want to get hit by Ice Beam, so he gets lower down to 81%. I'm gonna go Zero, and what I'm gonna have to try to do is try to make some really good doubles to try to bring myself back in the game. Because Lando T or Zero could potentially still win. I just really need to be able to break through these core of Cresselia P2. And I'm gonna go for a second bulk up. I want to see what he wants to do. As I said, he has 32%. So I'm gonna go for Plasma Fist. Does about half almost, and he gets the psychic off here. And I'm gonna go for a second one. I don't think it was a roll, if I remember correctly. I don't think it was a roll. If I remember correctly. Let me just double check though. I'm pretty sure it was not a roll though. And even then, I'll tell you in a second, but yeah. So it did 49.5% max. So unless there was some rounding weird thing, I wasn't gonna kill there anyway. So I'm gonna have to go into Lando T here, and I'm gonna try to SD up. If he shows Ice Beam, it's game over anyway. He shows Toxic. Um, yeah, figures. Um, and I'm just gonna go for what I could have done here is if I went for a second SD, I could have possibly brought the game back, which is crazy to think about. Because you'll see this damage right now. Z Fly here, 4 for a second SD. Zooch didn't do enough to KO me. It would have been, I guess, down to like how much toxic damage would have done. But if I got the second SD off, I could have possibly brought the game back. But I honestly, I know I said there was some hacks in the game, but honestly, I don't know if it really like in the end game. Like Gladius would have been like fabulous to have, but like um, I'll just talk about some of his sets here. Um, he was Rest Talk, Cresselia, Rest Talk Gigalith. Um, so I don't think Gladius would have been able to deal with either one of them, to be honest. Especially not Cresselia. Cresselia would have been destroyed by. So I wanted to keep that in mind. So I personally don't think. I don't know. Like I personally don't think it was like the. I don't think I was gonna win anyway. Zaruto's Choice Scarf. So even if there was some mounting errors, Zaruto just came in Darkest Lariat because it just ignores the defense boost. Doesn't matter situation. So I don't think it was a roll though. So yeah, he just and like I just didn't. He beat me well in prep. Honestly, there's no way around it. He brought the team that would win. Um, Obviously, the having Latios around would have been like not getting crit with on the Latios would have been nice because Manastorm probably could have been stayed around. But he was covering Cresselia, so I didn't have a way to break his team, and that's why I mentioned like in the pregame. I wish I was considering player first taunt. Tom would have been very nice this game for the or like what he ended up bringing, and like weakness policy did not even matter because he didn't even bring a single ground type move against my team, which is just surprising to me because I have like a Sun team with and then with Zeraora, I really thought there was a ground type move coming, but whether it's an Exegol like Altaria or Gigalith, but I guess not. But yeah, GG to Zooch. Zooch beat me in like really badly in prep. Like that was a really good team he brought, even though it was kind of stally to be honest. I just didn't have a way to break through it. Like even if I had Mammoth around, I'm pretty sure Cresselia could have still walled that. The best thing I could have done was I should have like the only thing I could have found like Klefki. Klefki looked fabulous. I almost like, but honestly, like when we're looking at the prep right in this match, I wanted to bring. I was thinking about bringing a setup Klefki, and you know what? If I did, it looked amazing here. But I didn't know which mon I would replace with it. Like it probably would have been Latios was the situation, and like I didn't want to lose Latios for this team, because like then like Klefki's still not a switch into Torrent, which is kind of why I won Latios there. It was very split up. It was able to take +2 Hurricane, and it's able to take up a regular Z Hurricane. Um, so maybe if I brought the Klefki, but like I don't know. It would have been like a weird situation, I guess. I think I could have possibly pulled it off though if I did. I was just so surprised he didn't bring earthquake coverage. So like Gigalith was walled by Klefki. Cresselia would have been walled by Klefki. Soaking, G Soaking with Sludge Bomb, Ice Beam, Grass Knot, Slack Off would have been walled by G Soaking. Not G Soaking, Klefki. Porygon 2, try attack, Ice Beam, recover, teleport. Unless he got the burn, freeze, he would have been, or I guess Para 2, but not really. Would have been walled. And Zarude, like Power Whip, U-Turn, Darkest Air, Encore, Choice Scarf. The only thing he could have done was probably Encore me, and then the only thing that could really hit me for any damage really is Torrentilla with Heat Wave. He was heavy duty boots though, so he wasn't Z move. So kind of crazy to think about. I really wish I brought out that tech with the Calm Mind on defense or something like that. Calm Mind. What was it? Calm Mind Magnet Rise would have been cool too. those were kind of the situations I was thinking about with like Draining Kiss and then some other move. Um, would have been very good this match, to be honest. But yeah, unfortunately, we get knocked out of playoffs. Um, but GG to Zooch, yeah, very well deserved. Played a very good game. I want all my luck to go. I want good luck to Zooch. I really hope he wins. Well deserved. This season he's played very well, and I really hope he ends up pulling out this dub at the end. So yeah, I guess we could. What we could do is talk about the team a little bit. Um, let me pull up a document real quick. Um, oh wait, I can just do this. Hold up. There we go. So, well, let's go recap sort of like the team this season. I know this will make it a little bit longer, but yeah, let me just go over real quick. There we go. So I was very happy with my team. I actually love this team because of what it brings. It forces so much prep, to be honest. Um, there's the force that kills death. Yeah, okay. So it was very. I love this team. The combination of like Zero Orlando team Mamoswine off and Latios, I know just offensively carried the game, and even Mega Houndoom. Like I brought Mega Houndoom 2 games, right, or something like that, and it put like a decent amount of pressure, to be honest. When it came in, it had a really clutch live hit from Mew. The one thing I will note, so this team was very interesting. I made some transactions in the middle, if I remember correctly. I got rid of a lot, actually. I dropped Glacier, I dropped Clefairy, I dropped Mawile, I think it was, and Hitmonchan. And that left me with no fighting type, which was like, okay, that's like understandably. Um, but I just felt like this. I actually really love this team. The one thing I kind of wish I had, like what I just the one thing that kind of let me down. Like I was a little bit disappointed with Venusaur. I didn't really think it was that good in like these matchups. To be honest, I brought it like a couple times if I remember correctly. Um, did I say how many games I brought it with? Played. Yeah, I brought it to 2 games. Um, and it just kind of underperformed. I think. I just couldn't bring myself to really. It just didn't really work out in a lot of the matchups that I wanted, and I almost actually almost considered bringing it to this game, to bring like a sub Leech set, but like then Torrentine would have blown through it kind of situation. So like I don't know. Um, I I do I did really like this team though. I even Kecleon like was kind of like, even though I had a terrible differential, right, -4, and played 5 games, lost 1-2. I still thought it was pretty nice to have like force prep. Very Spadef Mon, like kind of like counters out like the Torkoal kind of situation. Torkoal's a very physically defensive Mon. I kind of like the combination of the two, like combined with like Milotic. Just like taking out like carry out my like kind of defensive core, and even Latios I brought like really bulky the last couple weeks. How far out the like defensive core was kind of nice with them. Um, I will say, um, I Torkoal with heavy duty boots, like getting heavy duty boots is like so good for it, because now it's not taking that rock chip damage when it wants to spin away rocks and all that. The one thing I would consider is like maybe like instead getting like a wish passer to it, which would have been really good. But offensively, I thought it did really like offensively. I felt like it had a lot of breaking power, and I think, by the way, I think Lando T with Z moves is kind of like broke, like actually, um, especially with the fact that there's no cut moves allowed, so no hidden power ice to really pressure Lando T. So I'm able to set up pretty nicely on couple different things, and that's kind of why I was able to get so many kills this season. To be honest, I thought Zero being creative with some of the sets. Luckily, like unfortunately, he got like hacked out a couple times, but I love the. I just love the combination of Zero, Lando T, Nanoswine to be honest, and then like the defensive backbone of like Milotic, Kecleon, Torkoal kind of situation, and Latios just filling in there. Um, I was a little bit disappointed by Latios this season, but that's just because like I just didn't have like I wish I the one thing I would know is like I wish I got more of like a bulkier mon on the help out. Some of my mons Latios like I didn't have like Latios was forced into a situation where I had to be bulky a couple weeks to try to answer some of these mons. Um, so it made it really kind of difficult that way. But offensively, it did break some teams to be honest for me. But it didn't have the best differential. Yeah, it was -4. I got what like 5 kills, 9 deaths. Yeah. It was there more for breaking power, which made it a lot easier though for Zero and Lando T to sweep. But then kind of another thing, the combination of Latios and Mamoswine was very difficult to switch into, and Mega Houndoom having to prep for that as well. Um, but yeah, I honestly I really love this team. As I mentioned before, Venusaur was kind of like the little bit disappointment to me. And then Latios got forced into a prep situation where like it was forced to bring sometimes bulky, which kind of was tough. I really wish I could have bought more offensive more times, been more offensive, but it was forced to that role. But I think the pickup with Mamoswine, thanks to Splurge, by the way, I want to thank Splurge for that. Um, he's the one who suggested it. Mamoswine was really good for the team. So, yeah. Um, I guess I'll do a little update, sort of what we're doing too. I'm heading back to college soon, so I don't know if we're going to be uploading anything during that time. I might take a little break from uploading, just because it's a lot more difficult at college to upload some of the videos kind of situation. But yeah, I want to thank you all so much for watching this season and supporting us. It was very good. We made it up to 98 subscribers as of me recording this, so we are 2 away from 100, which is very clutch. If we can get those last 2 subscribers, absolutely amazing. They reached that 100 subscriber video. Um, but yeah, we'll see where we go from there. Um, love the PSL. Love the way that I love having Z-Moves back. To be honest, it was a lot of fun to play with some of the mons. It was made it terrifying at times, but it made it so much fun with like Zero and Lando T. Like wanting to bring the Z-Move Z Giga Impact last week against Zero or with Zero, which is kind of funny I thought, but didn't even work out with that. But yeah, yeah. Um, thank you all so much for watching. If you're in the PSL server, please go cheer on Zooch. Um, very awesome guy. Um, yeah, I guess, yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Till next time, Bash.